man.
We live. We
Real
live.
good. Huh?
We live.
Oh, you see it? I
Yeah,
don't
we
see
live.
it.
Yeah, we
Oh,
live.
it is fine?
Yeah, we live.
What the hell? I can't see it now. Okay. All right. You're in the show. You can hear it. Okay, folks, welcome to the TD report. We got Davies. He's helping people do whatever. And Jody's here from the Midwest. We every Monday and Thursday, folks. That's what we're gonna be. I'm trying to be consistent with it and get it. So every Monday, Thursday during the football season, you guys can kind of come up and see us. Make sure you want to talk to us. Uh, Jody, let's talk about your Cleveland Browns here, buddy. Come on, man. Bring it to me. What's going on?
First and foremost, Kevin Stefanski should be on the hot seat. If not, we looking for another coach that can get us to the next level. Because the amount of talent on the Cleveland Brown roster is no way, even without Deshaun Watson, we should not be 5-0 right now. You can't put the onus on a backup quarterback like Brissett and then try to blame him for making late interceptions in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Coaching put him in that position. The Cleveland Browns perhaps can have the best player in football on their team right now. And that's not just the best running back, maybe the best player in football with Nick Chubb, because first of all, he's the only player in the NFL that has 100 yards from scrimmage in 5 straight games, every game this season. Only person that can stop him is the Cleveland Browns coaching. When you look at every interception that Jacoby Brissett have had, Nick Chubb has been on the bench. I know people are like, well, it's a passing down. When you got Nick Chubb, a player of that caliber, if you put him in the backfield, they have no choice but to honor him. When they don't see him in the backfield, and everybody's like, well, y'all got Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, let me tell y'all something about Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt has not had 1,000 yards since his rookie season. He's in his 5th season right now. I think that, he's a good player, but I think we overvalue Kareem Hunt because what he did his rookie year. He's a solid backup. That's what he is at this point in his career. And when you have a caliber player of Nick Chubb, I hate to say it, it's Nick Chubb is up here, and we got a distant second is Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt has not put up the numbers that we needed him to do. And you put him in the game, I have no problem with the change of pace of backs, but what Cleveland does is they play Nick Chubb one series and then they play Kareem Hunt the next series. You don't have to do that as a head coach. You know you can put him in as many times as he should be in the game. Your best player is Nick Chubb, and I really think that the coaching staff, Kevin Stefanski, hates. This guy has 17 carries for 134. He averaged 7.9 yards to carry, not to mention 2 touchdowns. I don't understand why are we not going to this guy when it's clearly that the Chargers can't stop him. When they played last year, they couldn't stop him. So why do we take defenses off the hook? And when I see stuff like that, Kevin Stefanski may not need a job in Cleveland. He still got Joe Woods, who all of a sudden we can't stop the run. It's like Atlanta exposed us last week. Now we got exposed this week. Chargers was the last ranked rushing team in the league coming into that game. Atlanta was a bottom tier rushing team, but they found something up the middle. Now there is help coming. Deion Jones from the Atlanta Falcons is now a Cleveland Brown and middle linebacker. That's going to help us out tremendously. Not to mention they just allowed Deshaun Watson into the facilities. So he's revving up. He's able to watch film. He's able to kind of get with the coaching staff because he couldn't have any communication with the team while he was out. That the passage that Jacoby Brissett is missing. If you go back to the interception he threw at the end of the game, Tony,
that was terrible.
He could have ran it. If that's Deshaun Watson, he's running it for a touchdown. Not to mention he could have ran it for a first down, slid, kept the clock moving, and we could have melted out the clock so they couldn't touch the ball. But Tony, Jacoby Brissett is a backup quarterback. You can't put that onus on his shoulders. You should have simplified the game.
You see me on our text. When all things are equal, your quarterback makes a difference.
Right.
I don't know how many times I have to keep saying that. All things are equal. Your quarterback, makes a difference, and that's the reason why they pay him the money. I don't care about your running game. Everybody's running game go and come, and passing game. Which one can make a play? Oh,
what's up, Derek? How you feeling, man?
What's going on, guys?
Jody, that's Dirk. This is our Philly insider. This is our Midwest, Cleveland, and Cincinnati insider. Our man, Derek Law, he's out there coaching high school football.
That's what's up.
He's a big Eagle. And last year, we clowned him last year when he said them Eagles was going to make the playoffs before last season. We apologized then. But we ain't apologizing no more on this one because now they number one and he feeling all good. Cause look at that smile.
Look, man,
he's smiling.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It is great to be 5-0, but we ain't played nobody to be 5-0, man. I mean, we played a really good Detroit Lions team who was good offensively. But in order for them to be good, they have to have a defense, which they didn't have a defense. So whoever got the ball last possession was going to win that game. Next game, I mean, we had Washington. I mean, they are what they are. You know what I mean? And then we had Jacksonville. We went down 14-0. We were able to come back. I mean, Detroit and Jacksonville, both young teams, and they're very good in their own ways. Arizona was a real test for us, man. Arizona was a tough game. They were a playoff caliber team last year. I'm sure Cliff Kingsbury will get it right. I'm sure he's on the hot seat right now. I mean, next week, I'm not, usually I would talk trash. I love talking trash. Next week's tough, man. Next week's tough. Even without Dak, Dallas looks good, man.
But Derek, y'all beat a very, very good Minnesota. Minnesota's 4-1, and the only loss came to you Eagles. They are a very well balanced team. So
they are. Again, my thing with Minnesota is, I mean, they haven't even had a top 20 defense in the last 5 years. You know what I mean? I mean, they're offensive driven. Kevin O'Connell is a pretty good offensive mind, and the way that he wants to spread the ball around to his athletes. Defensively, we did good shutting Justin Jefferson down. I mean, our defense is fantastic this year, and it kind of not comparing the two, but it kind of brings me back to those early 2000 zone blitz Jim Johnson type defense.
He going way back.
Wow. So Dallas is going to be a real tough test for us. And I'm okay if we lose. I don't mind losing to good teams. I hate when we lose the bums, the teams that we should not have. Like if we'd have lost to the Lions, I probably would have been. I'd have been here to tell you throw the whole season out the window. We'd have lost to them.
Well, the Lions were the number one scoring team until last weekend.
They were. They
could score points.
The fact that they have the 32nd defense, top bottom half defense in the league, if we'd have lost that game, I'd have been upset.
But you know what, Derek? You gotta win you gotta be who's on your schedule, and that's what y'all guys are doing.
Oh, absolutely.
And y'all doing it. Y'all doing it in absolutely wonderful fashion, in my opinion, being a Browns fan. And I'm a non-biased, and I like what Philadelphia's doing because they're winning in every aspect of they're not just winning offensively, defensively, they winning special teams. Y'all winning in the trenches. Y'all one of the top rushing, scoring touchdowns, rushing. I think actually y'all number one in the lead in rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I think y'all number 3 in the lead in rushing. And let's talk about the emergence of Jalen Hurts. How do you feel like he's grown into this offense?
I wasn't always the Jalen Hurts guy. Last year was kind of rough for me. I'm not one of those people that are like, Jalen Hurts, isn't a great quarterback, blah, blah, blah. I knew that it was going to take time for Jalen to kind of come into his own and for us to build around him. I didn't exactly know what our offense was going to look like. I think it's great right now. We're an inside zone team and we're RPO based. And then, when teams come down to play man coverage, try to lock us up, that's when we throw, a deep ball or, we hand it to Miles Sanders or, one of our 4 backs now, if you count Trey Sermon, who actually, is coming along pretty well too. And then the read option with Jalen Hurts and the way that he can just move the ball or roll out if he has to and just take off with his feet. I mean, we're a pretty dynamic offense. We're not your normal, West Coast type, offense or anything like that. Like we're us, and what we do well, we're actually really good at. So I'm a big Nick Sirianni fan right now.
But you know what? Hold on. You know what, Derek? If you look around the league, teams have struggled to score in the red zone. But a team that's not struggling to score in the red zone is the Philadelphia Eagles. Y'all top 5 in scoring percentage in the red zone. Y'all getting 7, not 3 points. So how do you feel about y'all red zone offense when everybody in the league seem to be struggling except for Philadelphia, Kansas City, and the Tennessee Titans?
I think so. There was an interview where Nick Sirianni actually sat down with Andy Reid, Frank Reich, and all those guys that he kind of idolizes as a coach. And our red zone offense, I think the reason we score, we have high percentage rate is because what we do in the red zone is unorthodox. We don't necessarily go under center. I mean, we went 5 wide last week and ended up just getting a touchdown under the slip with Miles Sanders. You don't really see a lot of 5 wide, 4 wide, or anything like that at the goal line, right? That's not normal. So I think what Nick Sirianni's trying to do is, get those middle linebackers out in space that can't really cover. And, you got to try one-on-one against Quez Watkins or Dallas Goedert or Miles Sanders. And I think we're playing chess, not checkers. And we, in the red zone, we got queens everywhere, man. So it's fantastic.
So let me line this up for you for Sunday night. This the number 1 team and the number 2 team impression the quarterback.
Yeah.
The difference in this game will be the quarterbacks.
Yes.
Who performs better under pressure? Well, now, I think our defense is better. I think y'all got a better quarterback. If we were talking about Cooper Rush. So, will it even out? I mean, who knows? I mean, Dallas defense is playing a historic proportions. I mean, they only give up 5 touchdowns, 5 games. They haven't given up 20 points. First time since 1972. We talking about the Roger Staubach days now.
Yeah.
When you talk about a defense doing something like that. So we're the first team to beat. We done beat both Super Bowl teams.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so, when they start throwing up, have you played anyone or have you done? You play the teams in front of you, but then the Giants would probably be undefeated had we not beaten them. Yeah. Everybody thought the Giants was a fluke win, but when they went over there and put the paws on Green Bay, now they understand our division is for real. The old NFC East is back, except Washington.
The Commanders out of there, man. They making us look.
Yeah, we find a way to get them up out of division.
We'll trade somebody.
but hey guys, you know what makes the difference with the New York Giants this year compared to the last couple years? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna apologize on the TD report. I was wrong about Danny Dimes. We can really call him Danny Dimes. He looked poised in the pocket, and I think that has a lot to do with the offensive philosophy of
no, stop. Danny Dimes is still we elevate him from penny to nickels.
No. Listen,
he ain't dimes yet.
Hold on, Tony. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. I watched the game against a very, very good Green Bay Packer defense. And Green Bay gets pressure on the quarterback, and they got one of the best secondaries, if not the best secondary, as far as the totality of their safeties and their corners. I think that they have the premier safety in Jair Alexander, and he was able to, think about it. Go back and look at the Giants wide receiver court. It ain't nobody to write home about, and they were Coach Debo was getting guys in space. Darius Slade was getting open, and Danny Dimes stood and watched pressure in his face. He was able to get the ball down the field. That's how he was able to beat the Green Bay Packers. And listen, I'm apologize right now.
It's a little bit of him being able to run too. No, Danny Dimes missed 3 huge throws that game. That was just like simple thing. Look, why did he do that against Dallas defense? Y'all was saying Green Bay's defense was better than Dallas defense.
I don't think Green Bay's defense is better than Dallas. Dallas defense right now, they hit the quarterback. Even when they don't get a sack, they're hitting the quarterback. We can't when you go against a great defense, we can't just go ahead and be like, oh, he's not a good quarterback. And I think Derek can attest to this with Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts is able to get out the pocket and put him on the perimeter. Danny Dimes, we got to start giving credit when credit is due. And I'm going to do that on the TD report. And I'm going to apologize because I said it's no way that they can win games with that quarterback. And they're 3-1. And they have 4-1. I'm sorry. And they're beating very good. You beat the Green Bay Packers on a neutral field. You beat Aaron Rodgers on a neutral field.
Do you think it's a coincidence that it's because of your boy is healthy? Because what I saw him do is take over that game. When I was up at 8 o'clock watching that game, I saw
whoever said Saquon was washed up need to apologize.
Exactly.
Because that he's starting to look like he did his rookie year.
He sure is.
But you know what, Derek? I did a piece on my TikTok, and I told him, I said, Saquon is not done. But this is the thing. Saquon Barkley only had 13 carries for 70 yards. We got to understand Saquon Barkley went out for 2 quarters with a shoulder injury. And Danny Dimes, in that time when Saquon Barkley went out the game, they were losing. They were losing.
I'll say this. I'm not against Daniel Jones at all. I think he can be good. I think having Saquon Barkley in the backfield is helping him play better.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Because the last 2 years they haven't had him, they kind of put the whole thing on Daniel Jones, and he just wasn't ready for that yet.
But and I agree. But when you're looking at the reasons why Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, however you want to call him, is doing better, is the offensive philosophy. Name a receiver on their team. I'll wait.
You're right. I mean, they're best.
Darius Toney and Clayton
didn't play. He didn't play. Galladay, a waste of money.
Galladay's a waste of money.
We got to think about it. What's the Shepard out for the year? Shepard's gone for the year. Name a tight end. Name somebody of significance on that team. And I know we putting a lot. Saquon Barkley has rejuvenated the offense, but Saquon Barkley went out for 2 quarters in that game. And they went with Matt Berea. Matt Berea was the guy that was carrying the load. So Danny Dimes was doing his thing.
Dirk, I think they got great coaching now. I think that guy, remember y'all said it, that guy, I think it's great coaching. See, here's what I was just saying. When we was on our little thing, and I said, what the Giants is doing is what Washington should have done. But the difference is right now, and what I'm not going to keep arguing with Washington fans until y'all get rid of the head dude. You're going to keep all the rest of the trash that you have.
Absolutely.
So you want to keep talking, Scott. Blame who you want. It's Ron Rivera. It's Daniel Snyder. That's why nobody comes to the games. That's why it is down. That's why they are trash, because y'all keep making excuses for them sorry ones. Stop making excuses and put his ass on the unemployment line like they just did with the coach from Carolina. Yeah. You got tired of fucking losing.
But what did I say about the worst 5 coaches in the league?
Name them. Name them,
5
Joe.
coaches, Derek. This is who I had. I had Matt Rule. This is before he got fired. I had Matt Rule. I had Ron Rivera at 4. I had Kevin Stefanski, and I'm a Browns fan. Kevin Stefanski at 3. I had Brandon Staley, who basically got bailed out by a dumber coach than him because that call was ridiculous. It's no way they would have made that call in any other team. But he did it against a dumber coach, so he was able to get away with it. And then I had number 1 is Nathan Hackett. So when you're looking at the coaching staff, Philadelphia made the right selection. But what do you think are going to be the keys for Philadelphia to continue this run? What do you think are going to be the key elements?
We got to stay healthy. The last couple of games, some of our guys started getting banged up. Jordan Mailata, Jason Kelsey went out a couple times, Landon Dickerson. I mean, our strength of our team is offensive and defensive line. The way we protect the quarterback and the way we're able to run the ball and the way we're able to rush the quarterback, get hurries and sacks, and just make the quarterback feel uncomfortable. If we stay healthy, I think we keep going into the same direction we're going. Not saying we won't lose some games here and there, but we'll be competitive. And if things keep going the way we're a playoff team. 100%, I think we're a playoff team as long as we stay healthy. Health.
You're number 1 seed right now.
Yeah. I take that first round bye. You know what I'm saying? I take that. And good coaching. We got to be consistent with the play calling. I thought the offensive coordinator last week kind of went away from what we started doing, and he kind of took too many shots down the field.
Your last 3 halves, when y'all get a big lead, it seems like y'all not interested in the game anymore.
Yeah.
What I noticed about Philly, look, way we break the season down, we get to Halloween, then we get to Thanksgiving, and then after Thanksgiving, it is the third part of the season. So right now we got 2-3 weeks before we separate. Some of us, because some of us are looking at draft orders.
Yeah.
Some of us find coaches looking at draft orders, and that's just bad, man. Now, what I can say is, I've always said Philadelphia was managed very well. I've always said that you guys. I even saw Kelsey at the Super Bowl, and when I told him I was a Cowboy fan, he dropped his head. I said, "Nope." I said, "You did the best." I said, "You did the best job ever leading that team to a playoff last year." He looked at me like, "Man, this Cowboy fan ain't about to get on me." I actually gave him credit because I thought the job they did last year with that team going to the playoffs, I don't care what they did against Tampa Bay, the Super Bowl, they were there.
Yeah.
And see what people don't get. Oh, but if you don't make the playoffs, well, you're going to be on the couch. There's a difference in being on the couch in Halloween versus being on the couch past New Year's Day and then the Martin Luther King birthday. If I'm on the couch and it's Columbus Day versus Martin Luther King birthday, you're not in the same ballpark as me.
You can't talk. You can't talk at that point because you're talking about a team who on the couch at Columbus Day. Like now, now you're looking at draft picks. Now you're looking at do we sell the season and go number 1 in the first round pick, right? Like that's what you're looking at now. Now the higher ups and everybody's like, all right, who's on the board? Who's top 10? Like, it's back to the drawing board at that point.
But you know what, Derek? I'm looking at some numbers, and y'all are the 4th ranked team on defense on yards allowed. Y'all not even getting the 300 yards a game, 294 yards, and y'all have 17 sacks, which is 3rd in the league in sacks. Of course, y'all behind the Cowboys, and y'all behind the San Francisco 49ers.
Absolutely.
But the way that y'all offense, because I hate to say this, but y'all offense is better than the 49ers, and your offense is better than the Cowboys. No disrespect, but they're better. So when you have a combination of those two, and then y'all can score a touchdown in the red zone, to be honest, I know you say you haven't played anybody, but a lot of times there's not a lot of great teams in the NFL right now. Let's be honest. So if the way that y'all schedule is lining up, if y'all can beat the Cowboys, y'all can go a very long way.
Yeah.
And I hate to be that guy because I hate to be that guy like, oh, we haven't played anybody, because I hate when people say that, because last year 2 of those teams that we beat were very good. The Cardinals and the Vikings. And you don't know, like I actually one of my coaches on staff is a Cowboys fan, and he was talking about beating the Rams and everything, and somebody said something like, oh, well, it's not like it was the Rams, the Super Bowl champion Rams of last year. And I'm like, you don't know that a team is going to be bad, right? All you know is Super Bowl champ Rams, and that's it. Like, you don't know what their defense is going to be like. You don't know that Matt Stafford, I think Matt Stafford might have an arm injury that we don't know about, something happening with him. Maybe he's just getting old or whatever the case may be. But you don't go in knowing like, oh, the Rams are going to be 2-3 right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know going into those things, understanding.
Hey, Dirk, I say styles make fights.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
When they showed us, because we won the division, we had to play the Rams, who won the division. Okay. So when they did that, I said, thank you, Jesus, that we get to play the Rams over the 49ers. They'd be like, well, the Rams won the Super Bowl. I said, because Dallas don't match up well against San Francisco, but we match up better against the Rams. And you saw it. It wasn't even a game yesterday. They got a BS touchdown.
And I'm not taking anything away from Cooper Kupp. I mean, dude's good. He's
can ball.
But there's something about Odell Beckham being in the slot taking it away for Cooper Kupp to shine. You don't have that this year. You know what I mean?
Hold on.
still getting his
Hold
stats.
on, Tony.
Don't get me wrong. He's still getting the stats, but it's not the same.
Hey, Derek, Allen Robinson is stealing money he's stealing money from the Los Angeles Rams.
So I had a theory that, everybody's like, oh, Allen Robinson just needs to go to a new team. In my opinion, after seeing him with a new team, Allen Robinson's always been overrated.
And you know what, Derek? I'm gonna agree with you on that, because if you look at it, he had a couple good years in Jacksonville when nobody cared. They had Blake Bortles at quarterback, and he had Allen Hurns on the other side. Matter of fact, Allen Hurns was just equal to him. And now he went to the Chicago Bears. And actually, as Mitch Trubisky, when he was the quarterback with him, he actually had an outstanding season. I think he had 2 good seasons.
Yep.
They tried to blame him for Justin Fields' development, and I think that's unfair. Allen Robinson is just old. He's old.
Yeah.
Derek, he's old. And I think him signing the 3-year 40, he won't make that 3-year. The Rams, I can see the Rams getting rid of him after this season.
Oh, easily. Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing. He's not producing anything there. So what's the point? He's stealing money.
As Tony say, he's a Jesse James. He's robbing them for money. But I covered the Ohio State, Michigan State game this past weekend. So when I was in the press box, and this is going to go back to the Washington Commanders, I seen the Washington Commanders scout, the New York Giants scout, and the Atlanta Falcons, and it was actually the Buffalo Bills. So I ended up kind of talking to them for a minute. I said, who y'all here to see? They were here to see C.J. Stroud. Now, Buffalo wasn't there to see C.J. Stroud. So that's saying a lot. When you said that a lot of teams are looking for draft picks, I think the Washington Commanders are finally going to take a quarterback in the first round if they get to a point they can get C.J. Stroud. Do you agree with that or not?
So my thing is, there's a lot of athletic quarterbacks in this draft. But I don't really see one that stands out. I mean, unless you're really trying to revamp your whole team and go to a different offensive scheme around that quarterback, I don't really see a quarterback that's like, wow, like that, the next Josh Allen or someone like that. Like I see a lot of next Kyler Murrays and Russell Wilsons, which, isn't a bad thing considering, both of them, they win, and, Kyler Murray's not terrible and Russell Wilson has a Super Bowl ring, but I don't see any next franchise leading quarterbacks in this year's NFL draft. That's just
So you don't think C.J. Stroud's a guy, and we got to understand how many Ohio State receivers are on the Washington Commanders right now?
Oh, 3.
So when
they should not be drafting no quarterbacks.
No.
Why not?
The Commanders don't need to draft no more quarterbacks.
Let's go back and look. The last first round quarterback they took was RG3, and if RG3 does not get hurt,
they took Haskins.
Well, they took Haskins. I do apologize, but the last quarterback to actually start for them was RG3, because they didn't want to put Haskins in there. They were reluctant because Ron Rivera didn't draft him.
So here's my thing about Ohio State quarterbacks, right? I think a lot of them. And it goes back to the Urban Meyer days, and even, when he was at Florida with Tim Tebow and all those guys. And Ryan Day still kind of runs the same system that Urban Meyer, ran. It's not much different, more inside zone. They're all system quarterbacks, though, in my opinion. Meaning, when they get out of the NFL, yeah, they make a team, but they don't really do anything. Like Tim Tebow took, the Broncos to a playoff win. I'll give him that. But, all the other Ohio State quarterbacks didn't really amount to much. And I think that's just because they're system quarterbacks. I mean, think about it. I mean, Urban Meyer was at Utah with Alex Smith. I mean, it took Jim Harbaugh coming to San Francisco to save his career and to turn him into what he was, because Alex Smith wasn't that good because he was a system quarterback. So I think C.J. Stroud is great. But I think he's just another system quarterback, in my opinion.
Because the reason why I say that is because Justin Fields, who was with the Bears, I think he doesn't have any talent around him, and I think that he's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's the kid that that can break the mold of that, right? Like take Urban Meyer when he was at Jacksonville, and he tried to bring that system over from Ohio State. It didn't work with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is not that kind of system quarterback, right? I think when Justin Fields, if the Chicago Bears start building around him, I think Justin Fields is going to be great. It's just, is it going to be too late when they start trying to build around him? Is he just going to be, a backup quarterback being lost because nobody built around him?
But you know what? They have what they need to do is build the offensive line. But the one good thing that the Bears have is a lot of money. So next year they're going to be one of the top teams, being able to spend a lot of money. It's going to be some good free agents as of every year.
Yeah.
And when you got Moody as your number one, I think Moody would be a great in the slot, but he can't be your number one if you're trying to develop a quarterback. And I think that I watched some of the game yesterday and how he was able to help them come back against Minnesota. And you take away this guy fumbling the ball at the end of the game, they were in that game against Minnesota. After going down, 21-3, they was able to come back and actually, I think they took the lead for a minute. And I think Justin Fields, watching him play, they have to trust him. Let him make mistakes. If they allow Justin Fields to make mistakes, I think that he can be a pretty good quarterback. But I think they try to manage him too much. He's still raw. I think Justin Fields is still a raw quarterback, man. He hasn't really had a good quarterback coaching him yet.
I don't think so either. I mean, that's a lot for a lot like Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's been balling out these last 2 weeks, and I think maybe it's because they got the right guy in there to,
Oh, there we go. What up? We got the crew on here now.
Hey, congratulations before we even get started. Congratulations to that man right there, man. That man making major moves, man. Major moves.
Appreciate you guys, man. Hey, I ain't mean to cut nobody off. Somebody was talking. I don't want to cut nobody off,
Oh, no, you good, man. You good. It's all good.
I did overhear you guys talking about the Giants and Danny Dimes and being a quarterback guy.
Call him Danny Dimes.
Well, Danny
Hey,
Nichols.
He 4-1, Tony.
I will say this,
man. Come on, man.
I will say this: as good as he's been in not losing the game, he has shown more improvement with his footwork, his understanding of what. And Dable's a quarterback guru. People don't understand how good he was for Jalen Hurts that 1 year at Alabama before Hurts stunk it up in the championship game and Tua made the throw. Hurts had his best year passing until his last year at Oklahoma, playing with him that 1 year where they won it. So he does know how to develop a quarterback. But the biggest difference in New York is Wink Martindale. The blitzing, the different disguising of blitzes, the pre-snap movement of the defenders, where like the Ravens. The Ravens are kicking themselves right now because they let Wink Martindale go thinking they had a better choice, and it was nothing but cronyism and nepotism that brought Mike McDaniel down from Harbaugh down to coach with his brother. When you had a Wink Martindale guy that the Ravens, the issue hasn't been their defense the last 5 years with Wink Martindale since Dean Pease left. It's been the lack of weaponry around Lamar Jackson in the passing game. It has never been an issue with that defense. That defense is nasty. They make a man out of you. You have to fight them with Wink Martindale. They're going to bring pressure. They're going to hit you in the damn mouth, and they're not going to worry about if you get up. They don't care. So the Giants have pieces. And I'm going to tell you, give Wink Martindale about 4 or 5 more weeks, and you're going to see some things in Kayvon Thibodeau that we know he can do. He's going to use Thibodeau like he did Terrell Suggs. Now, I don't think Thibodeau's as stout against the run, because Suggs was like 275, 280 playing that edge. Thibodeau's more like 250, 255, but he's more athletic than Suggs was, and he's a better he can chase the play down more than Suggs will. So I think you'll see a little bit of the Suggs, Pernell McPhee usage that you saw out of those guys under Wink Martindale. The Giants are winning because they're running the ball with Saquon, as I heard you guys say. He's proven that, hey, I'm not done. I'm healthy. I'm finally healthy. Now their best receiver has always been Derek Slayton over the last 3 or 4 years. They just haven't realized it. Darius Slayton is a home run hitter. He was good at Auburn. He can run. His issue is he has drops at times, but consistency-wise, you take Shepard away, he's the only guy that can beat you over the top on that team now because they don't have anyone else. So now you have a guy that can get deep, make a few plays, and We know Green Bay's offense is still in flux, trying to figure out how to pass the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But like y'all stated, as Jody stated, to beat them at a neutral site with Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback and that running game and that Green Bay defense being one of the 3 or 4 best in the league, top to bottom, is impressive. And again, it goes back to Wink Martindale. His ability to keep the game close. Same thing going on in Dallas. Dan Quinn. I put up a post. The MVPs of the Giants and the Cowboys 4-1 start are them dudes calling the defenses. They're confusing people. They're taking advantage. Wink Martindale and Dan Quinn has gotten away from just the 3 deep, bring pressure. What he's doing what they call the cross dog. I don't know if you guys know what that is in football. It's a cross dog. It's stunning without putting your hands on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So what he's doing is he's using it to his advantage. He's putting Lawrence and Parsons side by side.
Mm-hmm.
And he's standing them up. And at the snap, one is going in, one is going under. And what he's doing is he's finding the weakest link of that offensive line week to week, and he's taking advantage. And the only way to stop that, because see, the key is Armstrong is unblockable right now. So now you got 3 dudes. Then you throw Anthony Barr on the field. He can get to the quarterback. Then you got Van Der Esch playing as good as he's ever played, cleaning everything up if they don't make the play.
Don't forget about Fowler.
Fowler's played well, but if you go back and look, Fowler has been effective because of players like Armstrong and the cross dog. It's allowing Fowler to be able to clean stuff up on the backside. And the biggest key has been Donovan Wilson down the middle, the former Texas A&M safety. He's a bull. He's a Cam Chancellor with more athleticism.
Wow.
He's a bigger Earl Thomas and a more athletic Cam Chancellor. So he's got pieces in that defense. You got Trayvon Diggs playing the Richard Sherman role. You got Anthony Brown playing the whoever was on the other side.
Brandon Brown.
Brandon Browner.
Who else was the other guy
Maxwell.
that they had that was pretty Maxwell. Trufant for a hot minute before they let him go. You know, those kind of guys. So you look at what the Cowboys and Giants are doing, and you know, Philly's defense, we knew Philly defense would be this good. They got 10 pass rushers. They keep guys healthy. When you can keep your D-line fresh, it makes it tough on anybody in the fourth quarter because you still can come get people. You know, and again, I put up a post. The defenses in the NFL have caught up to these college offenses. That's what's happened too. This college stuff has been caught up to. All these young, innovative, quote unquote, the next best thing have been figured out. Sean McVay has been figured out. He's very predictable. As good as he is, if you take away Sean McVay's smoke and mirrors pre-snap, it's not that great of an offense. It's not.
But he hasn't been that good. He hasn't been that good of offensive play caller without Todd Gurley. When he had Todd Gurley, a running back that can really be probably the best running back in football, he doesn't have that option this year or last year. He got away with it last year because Cooper Kupp had an amazing year. But the Giants, going back to the Giants, they're doing without Leonard Williams. He hasn't played the last 2 games, one of the better D tackles in this game. And they're able to stop the run very effectively and get pressure on the quarterback. And well, I know Tony don't like this, but Danny Dimes made plays when he had to.
He was solid yesterday. I watched him. He showed me more in the pocket than I've seen from him his whole time.
So can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah.
The 4 starting quarterbacks right now that started this weekend in the NFC East, who's number 1? Is it Carson Wentz?
No.
Is it
Jalen
Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
Dimes?
Jalen Hurts.
Is the order is Jalen Hurts, Cooper Rush, Daniel Jones, Carson Wentz, in my opinion. Cooper Rush, you got
Wentz last?
Wentz is awful.
last.
Wentz is awful.
Yes,
Wentz
he's
is awful.
last.
And it's not all his fault, but Wentz has a lot of things he doesn't do well either. It's a combination of bad scheme, letting your 2 guards go, and Flowers and Sheriff, 2 guys that made the Pro Bowl, and putting Trey Turner and Norwell, who can't block anybody, in there. The center, Rouillet, I'm going to tell you what really killed him. You let those 2 guys go, and then Rouillet got hurt. So now your whole interior is gone. I told people in football, Tom Brady lost his whole interior, but the difference between Brady and Wentz, Brady knows how to manipulate the pocket and get him in the right play where he can get rid of the ball, versus Wentz, who doesn't know how to do that. Totally different thing. And Byron Leftwich also dummied down the offense without those guys. Now you're seeing more Fournette in the passing game. You're seeing more of the quicker stuff. We're not going to let you hit Brady. We're not going to allow that. That's the difference in what you see. and what the Buccaneers are doing with their 3 interior guys gone versus the Commanders.
But going back at Derek is on here, he's a Philadelphia, fan. We're seeing Carson Wentz do the same thing he did the last year in Philly. His interceptions are low. But you make way too much money to throw an interception on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask Derek this: did y'all feel like y'all should have kept Carson Wentz, or did y'all make a great decision and get rid of him?
So when that first happened, I was a little upset, and I get his playmaking decision, but at the same time, like, he took a 9-7 Philadelphia Eagles team with practice squad receivers to the playoffs, and we lost to the New Orleans Saints. That's not easy. That's not easy to do. I don't think the issue was Carson Wentz at all at that point. I think it was just a bad season. Another year.
You said Carson Wentz did that?
No, I mean, Carson Wentz, the defense and the running game, maybe.
No. Nick Foles did that. He got hurt that year too.
No. I'm not talking about the year we won the Super Bowl. I'm talking about the year after.
Yeah, the year after, Wentz got hurt again because Foles came in that game. That's when your guy dropped the pass and the Saints caught it.
Right.
They intercepted. That was Nick Foles.
But look throughout the whole season, we had nothing but practice squad guys. That's when that's when people first heard about Greg Ward. Nobody knew who Greg Ward was.
But y'all beat the Bears with Nick Foles. If y'all had traded Carson Wentz then for 2 first-rounders, y'all would have been, when y'all started getting all those injuries and didn't have any depth, y'all would have been better then. Y'all lucked out with Jalen Hurts.
But all I'm saying is the difference. And when we had Nick Foles, we dummied down the offense a little bit for him too. That was the introduction to the RPOs, right?
Right.
I don't think without the run game and the defense, Nick Foles wins us the Super Bowl. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I agree
with that.
Wins the Super Bowl.
And I will say also, you can also send Dan Quinn a thank you for 6 or 7 downs inside the 10 and not throwing the ball to Julio Jones. You can thank him for that too. That was awful coaching. Julio Jones is out there, and you don't try to get him the ball inside the 10 with the game on the line. I said, Dan Quinn, what are you doing? You have the best player on either side of the field, and you're not taking advantage of it. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But yeah, I think Nick Foles, give Doug Peterson credit, changing the offense on the fly. And putting in a scheme that that's coaching.
That's
Nick
coaching.
Foles is we know that's what he does. Big arm RPO guy. That's what he does. And it was a great scheme. But to be honest, he really didn't change the scheme much because they were RPOing people to death when Carson Wentz was healthy. That's why he was the MVP that year. His RPO game was next level. He had put that in for him. So, but
the difference with that is with Nick Foles, we were reading one person. Whether it be
the whole field. Yeah,
outside.
You're right. True.
Carson Wentz, we have multiple reads.
True. That's true. And Nick Foles is really a one-read guy. He doesn't read the field well. He doesn't. That's not a strength of his.
Absolutely.
It's not a strength.
Well, guess what, guys? Philly has never won the Super Bowl before. And they won it that year. They won it because they got him. So however you want to break it down,
he got hot.
At the end of that sentence, they won this shit because of him.
Oh, absolutely.
If he's not quarterbacking, y'all ass is still talking about the 1960 championship.
I
100% agree.
I think Wentz gets there if they're healthy. I think that team, he's healthy. I think Wentz gets them there. I thought Wentz
they don't beat
football that year.
They don't beat them. See, it's something called chemistry.
The Patriots had no defense that day. They couldn't stop a nosebleed. They didn't punt. I don't think the Eagles punted the whole day.
Or it might have been more Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
But hey, real quick,
Foles
fellas,
was just playing out of his mind, man. Foles just playing out of his mind. He was on a run. He was on a run.
Hey, real quick, fellas, we got the kickoff for Monday night. It's 5 minutes away. So we got the Kansas City Chiefs and we got the Vegas Raiders. I'm gonna start. I guess Tony, you go around the horn. What do you think is gonna happen in this game?
Me?
Yeah.
Blowout. Go ahead.
Both.
Yeah, come on, man.
Really?
Come on.
It's a division game. It's a
blowout. They at Kansas City. Go ahead, y'all can go ahead and answer. You know who I got. Mahomes. And the rest of them, man, come on.
Derek?
Man, I tell you what, man, I'm a big Travis Kelce fan. I think he's the best tight end in the league right now. I think he's going to be one of the best tight ends ever. I think they try to find ways to get him the ball more. You know, they don't have Tyreek Hill anymore, but that hasn't really stopped him from getting 10, 12 catches a game. I think they take advantage of Jonathan Abrams. He is absolutely terrible in coverage.
Nothing but a hitter. Nothing but a hitter. Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing but a hitter. Yeah.
So I think they try to take advantage of that. Mahomes going to have a big game, man. And Derek Carr's record against Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium is terrible. So
Kansas City.
Absolutely.
I'm looking for 12 personnel tonight from the Chiefs. I think they utilize that better than anybody in football, 2 tight ends, because when you run that, it allows Patrick Mahomes to get Kelce out in the route right away. He doesn't have to do any chipping, anything. He's just straight running his route, which gives him an option route where he'll be, like Derek said, one-on-one with Abrams or any linebacker. It's going to be a problem. And I just think the Chiefs' offensive line, to me, is the most complete offensive line in the NFL from tackle to tackle. And they can run block. They have like the second highest run block win rate and the third highest pass block win rate. Mm-hmm. And then you got that magician back there that when things break down, he can break your back. And I just think this is a night where somebody like Valdez Scantling or one of these new receivers, Sky Moore, makes a play that solidifies that this offense is they're the best offense in football. They're the most innovative. And I've been posting, thank God for them tonight, because watching some of these offenses this weekend has been bad. So you get to see creativity, and you get to see the best play caller in the last 20 years do his thing in Big Kool-Aid. He's the best play caller in the world. There's no one better. Sean Payton was the only guy that was anywhere near his level. He's gone. He's the best play caller in the world. He does the most out of his formations. He does the most. You ain't never seen a dude have the tight end lined up behind the guard and then slide him right on the center and take the snap and score a touchdown. Come on, man. Come on. This stuff that now everybody wants to do it now. You saw last night they tried to shovel pass with Joe Burrow. It's not like Patrick Mahomes. You're not that fluid. That's not who you are. You can't do that. It doesn't work. You know. So I just think tonight, like Tony said, I think it's a good game for a while. I think Devontae Adams eats pretty well. I think he's gonna have a good game. He's just that good. The Raiders just don't have enough in the tank to knock them off. It'll be a good game for a while. I think the Chiefs by 2 touchdowns.
I'm going to go. I mean, of course, I like Kansas City in this game as well. I don't think it's going to be a blowout because it's a divisional game, and they always tend to play the Kansas City Chiefs hard, whether it's at home or whether it's on the road. But Mahomes' record is 22, and the Kansas City record is 22-3 in the division since Patrick Mahomes have gotten there. But one of the losses came to the Raiders. So I just want to point that out.
And the 2 of them came to the Chargers.
Right.
Didn't the Raiders have Henry Ruggs then, though?
Yes, they
did.
80-yard
touchdown. So they don't have that no more. Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, I think
have that.
He's on the longest yard team. I think he's on the.
They showed him. They showed him working out. He said he's coming back.
Let me
back
explain
to the league.
What, he gonna be a semi-pro and broke?
He gonna get out? Wait, he's getting out?
He getting out of jail?
He been out of jail. He's out. He never been in jail. He was in jail one night. He been out. He been home the whole time.
He never got charged?
No, he hasn't been charged, but he's not in jail. He hasn't had no trial yet. He's home.
He gonna get more time because he killed a doggy.
Yeah, he's home.
They're gonna give him more time for that.
He did one night in jail. He's been playing Fortnite with other NFL players and everything. Yeah. He's home. He's home.
On Call of Duty all the time.
Yeah, him and Calvin Ridley on that thing every day together. Yeah. Oh man.
I'm
2 Alabama
right
guys
now.
out the league. Yeah.
You put Michael Vick in jail. He wasn't even there when the dogs was okay.
Yeah.
They doing the chop, baby.
Hey,
ain't
folks,
nothing like it.
Hey, look, hey Dirk, we thank you, man, because we don't want to break your mojo up because you're undefeated and now you came on the TD report. You know how I'm going Sunday night. But
absolutely.
I got to give y'all propers. Y'all are rolling. And I said it last year and kind of said now. Y'all got a pretty good team. Now, I was arguing last year. I don't even know why I was arguing. Nobody was as good as Dallas in the NFC East. But this year, this is a real race. And really, technically, I think you guys are the best team right now. I mean, record shows. But you got to play for it, babe.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
that's how it goes.
And I agree with what you said. I think it comes down to quarterback play, man. And I'm not sleeping on Cooper Rush. I mean, the guy's got.
He's not Jalen Hurts.
No, he's not. He's not. But he's good in that system. He is good in Kellen Moore's system. I give him that.
106 yards.
If you take away the run, he's not. There's not enough film on him yet. That's all that is. It's that. That's it.
Cooper Rush.
Film changes things, man. Film changes things. Look at Jamar Chase this year. It's film on Jamar Chase.
He still got a lot of catches. He got a lot of catches, though.
Yeah, but they're for like 9 or 10 yards a pop. Last year, he was 17, 18, killing people. It's different.
Yeah, he was killing the Ravens last year.
It's different. It's totally different.
I'm gonna tell you what the Ravens, what I seen that I thought they wasn't gonna be able to do. Jason Pierre-Paul made a huge difference. When you got a guy that can get to the quarterback, that just changed the whole.
That's what they need.
They was able to blitz more, and it looked like the cornerbacks didn't actually cover last night because of Jason Pierre-Paul. So if you got him and Calais Campbell healthy, I think that the Ravens, I changed my tune on their defense because they held a very good Cincinnati Bengal offense to minimal points.
You could thank Zach Taylor for some real predictable play calling too. Very predictable.
You know how I feel about
predictable.
You know how I feel about these new age coaches and this play football. And
I don't know. I don't know why more guys don't tempo these older defensive teams. Like Calais Campbell's 85 years old. Run tempo. Make him breathe. Make him breathe. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop letting these guys off the hook. And the Ravens corners also play well against bigger receivers. Chase is a bigger guy. Higgins is a bigger guy. They struggle with the quick, fast guys, like most big corners. Their corners are big. You know, Humphrey's 6'3", 6'2", 200 and something pounds, and then you got Peters is a pretty long corner too. So they are better against the bigger receivers. Now put them up against when they played the Dolphins that week. They couldn't cover Waddle and Hill to save their life.
but they also didn't get pressured like they've been. I think if they play them
struggled against. And they got torched by Davis and McKenzie and Diggs last week when they had to have it. They couldn't get off the field on that. They cover bigger guys. They do well against that. That's what they're made to do. They're going to have their trouble against the smaller, quicker receiver. Anybody that's big and I saw one play where Humphrey blanketed Chase. There was no way Chase was going to get the ball. And I'm like, that's because he knows him from college. It's no different. We know each other. We've seen each other. We know what each other can do. Mm-hmm. And the same thing Diggs does. Diggs is the kind of guy, the bigger receiver he can cover. The smaller guy he struggles with. Cooper beat him on a slant, smaller guy, and he got beat over the top on that pass because they're smaller guys. The big guys, he shuts them down because you're not going to run by him. You're not. You're not going to run by him. You're just not. No.
So Derek, good luck, man. This may be the last time you're undefeated on here, and but right now you have to say Buffalo and Philadelphia would be your Super Bowl in Arizona. I mean, you have to say that they are the two best teams right now in each conference. But
I'm still taking Kansas City, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dev is always going to take Kansas City.
And tell somebody beat that redhead that he catch up on his steaks. I'm not putting nothing by him.
Listen,
nope.
Hey, if the Browns had Deshaun Watson right now, we would definitely be 5-0 because the throws that Jacoby Brissett is missing.
Yeah,
I don't think Watson would miss, and that's been the thing. He missed too many wide open receivers.
Brisket is terrible. I can't even call him Bruce. Whatever
he's not.
I call him Brisket.
He's not terrible. He's a backup. He's a backup. He did what backup does.
Wait a minute. See, here's where I need to go with you guys. The backup is making how much money?
Not a lot.
Maybe
$5 million. Maybe $5 million.
He made how much?
About $5 million this year.
Oh no. He needs to be taking some goddamn hits. Like, hey, this is what I said to all the Ravens people. They was like, "Oh, the 2000 team and the 2012 team, you both won the Super Bowl with first round quarterbacks. You drafted those guys to do exactly what they were supposed to do. So stop with this. We underachieve and all. Get that crap out.
No, they only drafted first one. They traded for Trent Dilfer. They traded for him.
Yeah, they had Kyle Bowler in there.
Yeah, but they drafted
Bowler in there.
But he was a first round quarterback.
He was a 6th pick overall, not to mention.
So somebody thought his talent was good enough.
He won some games. He made a Pro Bowl in Tampa Bay.
What was Nick Foles, Derek?
I think it was like a
third or fourth.
Okay.
Nick Foles.
So
fourth,
when you start winning with 3rd and 4th round quarterbacks, then talk to me. When you win with 1st round quarterbacks, get the hell out of my face with that crap. Because I don't want to hear that crap.
Max Crosby is already making plays for the Raider defense.
It looked like the Pro Bowl.
And that 45-year-old was a 6th round pick, wasn't he?
Who? 6th rounder, yeah.
Brady.
45-year-old down in Tampa. Jesus Christ.
Hey,
speaking of that, guys, that was the worst call of the weekend. That may have changed everything because the momentum was with Atlanta, and they would have come down and scored, dude.
Yeah. Shannon Sharp called Russell Wilson a lemon, man.
Did you see what they just did with Mahomes when he sacked him? He couldn't even. You see, he didn't even throw him down. It felt like the fucking Pro Bowl.
Well, the thing is, when you get pressure up the middle, man, no, I don't care who you are at quarterback. Nobody likes that. When you come right up the gut, nobody likes that. I don't care who you are. You could be the most elusive guy in the world. When they come right in your face, it's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable for any quarterback.
But they need to get sacked. They need to hit the fucking ground.
They're not. After what happened to Tua.
They're never gonna let you do that. Yeah.
What did I say last week? I said the whistles are going to be quicker. I told y'all that last week.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
they're going to be quick.
They quick. That was the worst call I've ever seen. I've never seen a call that bad in my life. It was awful. And Arthur Smith didn't say anything, but man, that was the worst call I've ever seen. That was terrible.
I can't wait till we get calls like that. So Dirk, what you got? We'll score the game Sunday night, man. We accept your biases.
All right, so completely unbiased. I got
you can't be unbiased.
No, completely unbiased. I got realistically, I got Philly by 3.
Where are they playing at?
In Dallas.
In Philly.
I think they're in Dallas.
No, they're in Philly.
No, they're in Philly the first time. They're in Dallas second time.
Got you. I got Philly by 3, realistically. I think it's going to be a very close game. 2 top defenses, man. I think it's going to be very close.
Yes.
I like Philly. I would like Philly 20 to 12 in that game. Because we got to be honest, the 49ers can't score points. They can't score points. Look, they stopping people, but they can't score. I love what they're doing with their running game and how they're keeping the games close, like Dev said, with Dan Quinn calling those defensive calls. But I think defensively they're gonna give Philly some problems. But I just think they're gonna get a little bit more, and I think that defense can cause a turnover for Philly. I like Philly 20 to 12 in that game.
Well, I don't like Philly scoring 20 points because Dallas haven't given up 20 yet this year.
And that's what I'm saying. It might be a defensive touchdown that they may get in that game.
If I had to go, because I've seen a million of these games, I've seen it when it's been whatever. It just feels like one of those 17-6 Philly. It just feels like one of those type games where we just don't get it on offense and they take away all the stuff. It's so hard to play in that place, in that environment, because of, from the NFC Championship from years ago to the mid 80s games to, it's a tough environment for Cowboys to ever go there. Even when we had our greatest teams, it's a tough environment. I think it's Philly 17-6, 17-9, somewhere around there where it's just uncomfortable type game.
It's crazy that you say that because Nick Sirianni was in an interview about the game next Sunday, and he said it's crazy how it's only the 6th game, but it already feels like playoff type atmosphere between the two.
Yep.
Dev, I gotta ask Dev, how you liking these games that's 13-6 and you're an offensive guru, you get your quarterbacks, you put up 53 points in your games, and you see these scores are 13-6 and 12-9. I just know you rolling over in your bed like, what the heck am I watching, man? How you feel about this stuff,
you want to know what's funny? I told people this was going to happen. These D coordinators are tired of hearing it's an offensive league and like they can't coach.
Yeah.
These guys get paid millions too. They sit up every night designing these schemes. and they figure out ways to make quarterbacks uncomfortable. And at some point, the coordinators on the offensive side, the game planners, are going to have to readjust their game plans because these guys on the defensive side are saying, game on. You've had your time. You've embarrassed us year after year. Now Leslie Frazier has a Von Miller that makes that whole defense different. Now they get into the quarterback at will. You're seeing guys like Boogie Bansham and Epinesa and Greg Rousseau and Oliver teeing off, getting the quarterback. The linebackers, Milano. And the other guy, what's his name? The Edmonds, Farrell Edmonds' son, in there making plays. And then the scary part about Buffalo is Tre'Davious White is still not healthy, and then you had Dane Jackson get hurt. Plus, you got the two safeties that have been, one is out for the year, the other one's been in and out of the lineup. That defense is really not fully what they're supposed to be, and they still very good. But at the end of the day, the offense is people like Andy Reid. I don't care what defense you design. He going to move the football. He going to figure out a way to move the ball. You can try it all you want.
We get to see it next week. We get to see Kansas City versus the Bills next week. That's going to be something to watch. That's got to be the game of the week.
It's going to be an AFC Championship preview. Simple as that. They are not two better teams in the AFC right now. They're not.
Hey, Cleveland with Deshaun Watson going to have something to say about that.
Cleveland will have a shot. But Cleveland's defense is still a little shaky to me.
So we may see a preview.
They've not been nearly as good as advertised as I thought they'd be starting from the beginning. They've gotten picked on a little bit.
But you add Jones to the mix. And
well, Jones is hurt.
Deion Jones?
He's hurt.
He's not playing. He was saying he was playing. I just read something he was playing.
Oh, it might be. He was hurt. He was hurt for a while. I didn't even know he was. I know they made the trade, but he's been hurt. Maybe he is going to play right now. But he is going to help the whole defense.
Can I say this? We might be previewing both NFC and AFC championships games next week. Dallas and Philly, and Kansas City and Buffalo. Mm-hmm. This could be championship weekend in a preview. Could be. We do know that those four teams will be in the playoffs.
We do know that.
We do know that.
Oh, Devontae Adams touchdown.
Yeah, on the post.
He's a beast, man.
How did they go one-on-one with Devontae Adams?
Because Spagnuolo gonna bring pressure. He gonna live with the result. Chiefs can get it back, so he feel like I'm gonna live with the results.
They had two linebackers in the box with the safety over top of the one of the outside linebackers. Put one-on-one with Rashad Benton, burned them.
Oh, that was a busted coverage. 27 stopped running. He has a busted coverage. He thought he had help. I don't know why he thought that.
It was a 4th and 1.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Be okay. And to make it so bad, if they didn't go to Devontae Adams, Waller was open on a cross. He was open.
Yeah, he was open on the shallow cross. Damn, he had to wait on the ball. Who's 27?
That's Fenton. He's terrible.
He's terrible. You shouldn't even. It's no way. I'm not locking nobody up one-on-one with no point in time in the game.
What's the name got hurt in week 1? What's the name hurt himself in week 1? The rookie McDuffie who played dynamite in week 1. He's been hurt ever since. And that's a key loss for them because he was supposed to take that other side from Janarius Sneed. So get him back. They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Hey, man, why we feel like the Manning brothers watching the game.
Yeah, man. Yep. Oh, yeah. My score next week is 24-14. I think the Jalen Hurts leg factor is the first time Dallas going to face a quarterback that won't be where they expect him to be. I think that's going to be a problem for them.
Remember we played Danny Dimes and he ran over us too.
Yeah, but he can't beat you with his arm, and see, Hurts has proven he can throw that ball a little bit more this year. And he's got an A.J. Brown who is going to win some one-on-ones. I don't care who's covering. He's going to win some one-on-ones. He's physical. He attacks that football. And as much as I like Devontae Smith, he's my guy from Bama. He's the 2 on that team. He's not the 1.
Oh, yeah, definitely. No.
He's the 2. And he has no problem with that. Even though when A.J. Brown got traded, he said he was the 2. It's straight up. I'm the 2. And then not getting off subject today, I saw Paul George came out and said, I'm the 2. Kawhi's the 1. Y'all stop trying to put us up against each other. I follow him. My job is to make everybody better. We need him to go get buckets. I love that. That's what you call getting stuff in the right place. And if the Clippers can stay healthy, they have everything they need to be a problem. The issue is health.
But Dev, you're right. That's why Philly is so good. You know what makes Philly so good, Derek? They have no egos. I have yet to see somebody. You got Fletcher, who is mentoring young Jordan Davis. Y'all still got Brandon Graham that's showing his veteran leadership. Darius Slay, him and Bradbury are playing 1-2. You can't. I haven't seen an ego. You see these other teams. You see somebody always talking about in Cleveland. Kareem Hunt talking about not getting the ball. Shut up, because Nick Chubb is the best player on that team. You don't hear that in Philly. You don't hear that in Philly.
I mean, we got 4 running backs we switch out of, and all of them are productive. I mean, Trey Sermon's productive. Keith Gainwell scored a couple touchdowns in each game we've been in, and Boston Scott is, he's a poor man's Brian Westbrook out of the backfield catching the ball.
Yeah, he's solid. He's solid, man. He's solid. He's a solid player, man.
He was on the Browns for a hot second, and guess what? We got rid of him. We just dumb decision.
Hey, right now, like I said, even I pick y'all because we don't have our man and Cooper Rush. The Rams did exactly what I thought they was going to do to Cooper Rush. They zeroed in on him, and it showed. And that it's gonna, when you get to that level of playing those great teams, it'll show. That's why you need that QB. So,
yep.
Yeah,
is it me or do Aaron Donald don't look the same this season?
He's still dominant. The problem is, not having a Von Miller there on the other side plays a role.
Not being able to take pressure off of him. I think he's still a dominant interior lineman.
They got some issues in the secondary. Their safety play has been average. Linebackers are their worst part of their team. So with him, no, he's still the best defensive player in the world to me until I see otherwise. I think a Micah Parsons kind of guy is coming along. T.J. Watt is still there when he's healthy. Myles Garrett is in that group.
You know what, Dan? Don't put Myles Garrett in that group until he can make a play when we need him to make a play. No, take him out of that group until you can make a play when we need you to make a play. It's okay to get a sack in the first quarter. You need to put pressure on that man in the fourth quarter. No, don't put him in that group until he proves that.
Bro, I know you watched last year when they played the Ravens on Sunday night. He had 14 pressures by himself. It wasn't his fault Lamar Jackson just can get away like that. He had 14 pressures.
I'm talking about he listen, Dad, I watched every Brown snap. And until that man can make a play when the game's on the line, like I didn't see Michael Parsons close the game out yesterday. I didn't see Aaron Donald close the game out. I didn't see T.J. Watt close the game out. He should not be in the same breath as those guys until he can make a play. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he is top 5 in the league at what he do, though. He is top 5 at what he do. He is.
That is it's funny because Dallas wouldn't even have Parsons if it wasn't for what Philly and the Giants were doing, and then we got Dak got hurt that year, and so that put us in the mix. We actually wanted Surtain.
Yeah.
We loved in the Parsons.
Guess what? You know who should have had Parsons? The 49ers. Just imagine him on that defense.
They took Javon Kinlaw, didn't they?
No, they took that's the year they took Trey Lance.
They did take Trey Lance, yeah.
And they didn't
last year. Okay.
They didn't need
you're right.
I would have rolled with Jimmy G, who I paid some money to, who just took me to the championship.
A lot of people didn't think Parsons was this good because he didn't play the COVID year. But I told people you don't be the top edge rusher in high school or linebacker, whatever, in high school and have 39 D1 offers and not be something. You have to be the play to get that many people wanting you. Have to be the play. I mean,
I didn't think he was. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think he was gonna be this good. But
he's supposed to be at Ohio State.
Board. I had him going.
I had him at Ohio State. You had Kirk Herbstreit. The reason why he didn't come to Ohio State.
What happened?
Kirk Herbstreit talked about it, and then he couldn't come there because he mentioned that that's where he was going to go. So then he couldn't do it because he hadn't made a decision yet. Kirk Herbstreit blew that whole thing up on Saturday Night Football. It was Ohio State and I believe Iowa. The year that Ohio State lost to Iowa when Iowa beat them really bad with Dwayne Haskins.
No, Purdue beat us bad.
So whoever beat them really bad with Haskins, and that
Purdue
year,
beat us.
Yeah, and Parsons was coming to Ohio State. It was a given, and something got out about some things and didn't happen because of Kirk Herbstreit running his mouth.
Running your mouth. Running your mouth.
Could you imagine Michael Parsons and Nick Bosa?
Don't even get me started. We still had Jeff.
Larry Johnson.
We had Jeff
Larry
Okuda.
Johnson. Yep.
We had Jeff
Larry
Okuda.
Johnson has done all the work, did all the leg work. The kid was coming.
Hey, yeah, Jeff Okuda on that defense.
Hey, Dirk.
Yep.
Dev coaches at West Potomac. Dirk, you coach at W.T. Woodson, right?
Yeah.
So y'all coach. When do y'all play each other?
Don't play each other.
We don't.
Y'all don't. Okay. So because who's D5 and who's D6?
We're 6. They're 5.
Y'all went down. Y'all 5. Okay. So do y'all play? Dirk and you guys play. What's the one that's named after Vietnam vet? The school that's always good over there. That's named after the Vietnam vet. What's Bendorf used to be there.
Oh, you're talking about
what's the closest school to you?
Westfield?
No, the closest school to you, Dirk.
Closest school to me right now is South Lakes.
Come back the other way. They always good in football.
Lake Braddock?
No, Lake Braddock. Keep going. Robinson.
Oh, okay.
Robinson.
Yeah.
That's
Robinson.
in Fairfax. That's over behind George Mason University.
Yeah. So you guys need to meet up and get each other's number, man, because y'all in the same little fraternity down there.
Send me an inbox, man. We'll talk when we get off. I'm about to get off here though, because I got to get ready. I got some work I got to knock out. I got to get off here.
Hey, real quick,
I got some film to watch.
Educate me real quick on y'all D5s and D6s. Is that a higher level? Because in Dayton,
it goes on the basis on the size of the school. That's all.
That's all.
School enrollment. School enrollment. That's all it means. Nothing more, nothing less. Because you got some D3s and D2s that can play with the D5s and 6s all day and night. So it's all about size of the school. Like the D5s are just 6s are gonna have more players, more pieces, but it don't mean they're more talented because a lot of them D2s and D3s will kick your head in straight up.
Like Tuscarora.
Oh my God! Don't even talk about them. Or Colonial Forge.
Yeah.
See,
knock your head off.
Here it's flipped. D1 is our biggest, and then it go backwards. So D5 here will be smaller with the guys with the less enrollment. That's right.
Okay. See, in Ohio is a little different.
Yeah, we do it. We do it straight up from the bottom to the top here. It's not flipped the other way. But yeah, that's all it is. Just numbers.
Much love.
Students.
Hey, I'm going to see you guys on Thursday night before the Skins and the Bears game.
I'm not watching that game.
Me neither. I'm not wasting my time either.
I'm gonna go to our JV game and watch that. It's the same.
Man, won't y'all stop, man? Y'all not right, man. Why y'all gonna do that to them peoples, man?
That's gonna be 5-3. I'm cool.
Hey Tony, I got better stuff to do than watch Ron Rivera fold his arms for 4 quarters. I got much stuff better to do than that, man.
Hey, did y'all see the NFL announcement? They said the Skins have moved all their games to Thursday nights now because it's JV time.
And look, ain't much difference, man. It ain't much.
Well, today the head coach said the difference between the Giants and Cowboys and the Eagles is the quarterback with the Washington Commanders. So you the one that chose this guy, though.
Right, so you the one that traded for him.
Good God, the morning.
He said that today.
Yeah,
I gotta go. I gotta go. He said that today, man.
I see y'all, man.
Hey, real quick, did y'all see what happened at Jackson State and Alabama State?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Have you been reading the stuff I wrote? I wrote the article today when Deion was doing his walk around the field, how they was saying F Jackson and called him an F, you know what, and a pussy, you know what, and everything. This is what the players were calling Deion Sanders as he did his stadium walk that he does every game, no matter where they play. Yeah. And Eddie Robinson hasn't said anything. You want to call him out for the stuff he said about y'all used them for a money game. You did. You scheduled them for a homecoming to sell out your 26,000-seat stadium, which hadn't sold out in 7 years. They were standing room only Saturday. Deion said it was true. Y'all, it's a money game. Y'all called us down because we're going to bring 15,000 fans, which they did, and we're going to pack your stadium, and we're going to kick your butt. And then he said at the end, he was trying to tell Eddie Robinson, great game. You had the guys ready to play. and Eddie Robinson said he was disrespectful because of the stuff he said. Deion said, I was selling tickets. This is what you do in this business. Somebody got to do it. He said, because y'all boring. I got to sell tickets. I'm trying to get people to come to the game. I'm trying to bring excitement to the SWAC because there wasn't no excitement before I got here. And he right. Talking about, you ain't SWAC, I'm SWAC. Deion said, oh, you SWAC because you played at Alabama State. Bro, I played at Florida State, and I was the best in my position in the nation. And I'm a Hall of Famer. What are we really saying here? You ain't SWAC. What does that mean?
I got
Eddie
you.
Robinson needs, he need to chill. He mad because they all sick of Deion because he walking through, and they know this is just the beginning. Don't let him get a 5-star, top-rated quarterback. That's the scary part. His son can play, but don't let him land one of these top prize guys.
Step your game up too. My point is, step your game up, which you can help every last one of them.
That's right. That's right.
Everybody steps their game up.
That's right.
So yeah, hey guys, man, much love. Jody, congratulations on the new job. Dan, congratulations on promotion.
Appreciate you guys.
Dirk, congratulations on your Eagles and everything you're doing with the high school. We appreciate you guys. Hey, folks, make sure you tune in to each one of these guys. They're doing positive stuff for their neighborhood. These are good men, good family men. Make sure you tune in. But you see, they're very knowledgeable, too. We go at it, baby. Love y'all.
Love you, bro.
Hey, see you on Thursday night. TD Report.
On him.
Baby, follow us.
Great piece.
Because y'all know how I'm doing.
Appreciate
Cowboys for life. Cowboys for life. Gotcha.
Hey, the Browns are coming back. Don't worry. The Browns will be back, y'all. They'll be back. I'm out, baby.
Later.
I'll see y'all,
Right,
Thursday.
Later, fellas.
See y'all, man.